Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How wonderful to see not only so many people here today in the church, but such a vibrant community. We were talking recently, and sometimes it's not as lively, not as warm, not as welcoming. And it's so great to see you all wandering around, having a chat, having the heat. It really is, fills the heart. So thank you. Big thank you to the lovely Stephen. I never like to say they're filling in because it feels like you're second best. Do you know what I mean? We couldn't get a good medium today, so Stephen's coming on. You know, the decent medium can't do it, so we've got Stephen. It can sometimes be put over that. I've been introduced like that. The medium we were all looking forward to today can't be here, so Lawrence has come, and I was like, I'll go now then, shall I? Anyway, Stephen, thank you so much. It's meant to be, obviously. It's meant to be. Just a quick reminder, please. Phones off during the service will be wonderful. It's only an hour long. That'll be lovely. Big warm welcome to our friends watching us online wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us today. Could you please note Pauline, who normally would do the online managing of a comment, she's unavailable for a little while, so can you just talk amongst yourselves online, please? That would be wonderful. Without further ado, sir, if I could ask you for the opening blessing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Stop me, is it? Turn it off. Just join me for a few moments in the silence. Divine and gracious Spirit, we come together this morning to ask our loved ones to draw close to us, to prove their survival beyond the change that we call death, and show us that we are spirit here on the earth, having a human experience with our spiritual mind and our spiritual bodies. And as we awaken to our spiritual selves, and we see the world wake up to it too, we see the whole world coming together as one through this spiritual love and energy. And as we do, we share that love with each other this morning, and we ask for that healing light of energy around us all, that we be blessed with clear insights this morning into our spiritual lives and our earthly ones, to see where we can spread this joy further around the world where it's needed most. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Stephen. And now, if you'd care to, please join in with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Thank you. And we now bring our attention to the art of healing. Healing within this philosophy, religion, however you want to term spiritualism, is one of our primary functions. Not only do we exert that healing influence through the wonderful work of our healing mediums that you've seen working here this morning, but also through the messages, through the communications, through the written word. There is so much. Who's ever read something and thought, that's really touched me, that's really made... Where does the inspiration come from? There's something to take away, because we're not all about the message. There is so much that we have to offer, to work with, to develop. So healing is one of those great arts. During this time, this is your opportunity to engage in that healing energy. And healing is just sending out your love. It really is that simple. There's no mystical thing. You haven't got to stand on one foot with a hanky on your head facing west. But if you want to, that's fine, you carry on. It is just simply expressing your love and sending out that thought, because where thought goes, energy follows. And it's up to you where you send that, wherever, whoever, whatever, entirely between you and your own soul's talk. If there is anybody you would like to be named in particular at this time, please just raise your hand. And when you do so, I point to you and you just call out their name. That is all that is required. So engage with this time now of healing, this ancient, wonderful, beautiful gift that expresses that divinity which resides within each and every one of us. To share that love, to share that thought, to share that healing. Thank you. Paul, Pauline and Ted. Divine and infinite Spirit, God of our own understanding, we thank you for this timely reminder that that healing energy resides within us, can flow through us, and be delivered wherever and whenever the need arises. Amen. Amen. Now I'd like to invite Stephen for your thing. He hasn't got props today, which has thrown me, because Stephen normally has a lot of lovely props, but
well, it's thrown me a little bit, and I thought I'd just sort of talk like I normally talk without incriminating myself. So here goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful.
But it's normally we're trying to look at something to do with spiritualism, mediumship, communication, and we can get a lot of our information from books and from talking to people and experiencing it ourselves. But nature gives us everything we need as well. And I was going to read out this thing that made me quite, I was drawn to it. And it was a reading about ecstatic people and how ecstatic people get into some sort of flow state. And to do that, you have to sort of get rid of all the rigid structures, including spiritually, that you should be completely free and in the flow, because there should be no structures, because they can fall apart. And as I was sort of sitting there thinking about it, I disagreed with it, because nature has this beautiful organised structure that gives us everything we need, even from a spiritual point of view. And when you look at nature around us, we break it down into these kingdoms: the mineral kingdom, the vegetable kingdom, and the animal kingdom. And we as human beings see ourselves in the animal kingdom, but there's clearly something different about us. We're displaying characteristics unlike all the other animals. And if you look into those other kingdoms, the mineral kingdom, you think about sort of the periodic table of the elements. We think about geology, rocks, and inanimate things that don't seem to have life to it, but they're a life of a different degree, a more simple one. And we see life sort of grow into higher degrees of complexity. In the vegetable kingdom, we've got everything from plankton up to great big sequoia trees and everything in between. There's a forest in the States where every single tree is a clone because they're all connected underneath. It's just one massive giant organism, and it's alive, and you can communicate with organisms. They're just of a different complexity than yourself. And we see the animal kingdom, everything from sort of microbiome to blue whales and elephants and humans and all sorts of variety. Far more complex than the vegetable life, as the vegetable life is far more complex than the mineral life. They're just different degrees of complexity and density. But there's, in both kingdoms, in the mineral kingdom, for example, you have crystals. And I'm sure some of you probably got crystals on you right now, and you've probably got them at home because you're drawn to them, and they're drawn to you as well. And crystals, being minerals, but they don't behave just like minerals. They display some of the qualities of plant life in the way that they grow. And just like plant life is regulated by the sun and the moon, the stars, all the other stars and planets have an effect on crystals. There are crystals that are aligned to Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and as we come closer to those planets in the dance that they do in the solar system, those crystals grow according to those cosmic forces. You could Google it. They don't explain it very well scientifically. They just say, oh yeah, cosmic forces, and they just gloss over it. But these things have this energy about them that's unlike all the other minerals. And in the vegetable kingdom, we have molds and fungi, which are in a class of their own for the fact that they display some of the characteristics of the animal kingdom. And they're very strange, and if anyone's ever taken any mushrooms, they talk. But there's this, again, there's this spiritual sort of aspect to them as there is to crystals. They seem to be transformational stage between these different kingdoms. So then we look at the human being and these characteristics that we're displaying. It's like we're a transformational stage between the animal kingdom and whatever comes next. And we use the term angelic in a very broad sense. Angelic in the sense that when we pass over, we survive, and we're surrounded by spirits that have lived many lifetimes, that have attained a certain wisdom, an elevated position, and they share that with us and try to bring us up with them. And that's what we get when we commune with the spirit world. But higher than them are different degrees of complexity of angelic beings, to the point that they are beyond comprehension of the human mind. But all of them are spirit. So when we say, oh, that was spirit, you know, we're typically talking about a deceased loved one that's around us. But the spirit is all of these put together. See, we try to categorize them in a linear fashion, but they're all different parts of the same whole, the same consciousness. And us as human beings are all evolving our consciousness together. And the word ascension is used quite a lot. And it's to describe this transformational process that we're going through, that we're ascending to a higher state of consciousness. And we have to do it as one consciousness, as one family. And in the last 100 years, we've seen both the car, the train, and aeroplanes joining the whole world together. But then when we all went online, on social media, every single person in the world suddenly is connected to every other person in the world, almost automatically through this little device in our pockets. And for all the bad that might bring about, the good is overwhelming it. The fact that we are connected like this gives an opportunity for this ascension process. And it's something that we're all going to do together. There's no individual that's going to be able to give it to you. It's a process that we're all going through, and all the changes that we're going through right now seems to be propelling that process. But just like we sort of grade all these different things, you are a mineral. You're made up of minerals. You are a vegetable. You need sunlight just like a vegetable does, just like we need water. And you're an animal, just like all the other animals. All of these things are still in you, even though you're human as well. Just like as you grow up as a child, and then you mature into a teenager and then an adult. That child is still there alongside the adult. And then as you go into your old age, that child is still there along with the adult and along with the grandfather, and you are all these things at once. And I think every 90-year-old would agree that they're a 20-year-old with 70 years experience. Because when you talk to people, you realise that we're all kind of on the same level. We're all coming together into this new world that we are creating. And when you think, the Stone Age, it lasted for a very long time, and then we developed metalworking, and then we developed the Industrial Revolution, and now the Space Age. But we're still in the Stone Age. We use silicon chips. We still build with brick and block. So all of these things are existing alongside each other. So as we move out this human stage into this angelic stage, we'll still have that human aspect to us. We'll still have the animal, the vegetable and the mineral aspect to us. But all of it is the spirit. All of it is that great spiritual energy that you can feel when you sit in the silence, or you talk to the mushrooms. But there's this progress that we're seeing. And so everyone is starting to feel this energy flowing through them more and more. And we're seeing this great awakening. And everyone's so worried about AI. But AI is just an expression of the human spirit, the same way the computer, the car, telephone, the Empire State Building, they're all expressions of the human spirit, born in the mind and expressed through the good works that we do, good and bad. And there was a few years ago, this time of year, I'd sort of spent some time working on a few problems that I had and overcoming them. And I was sat in meditation, and I was a bit worried about what I was going to experience because I'd had so much going on. And I was just sat there, and this beautiful energy came over me, and this voice started saying, it was a beautiful Hindu woman's voice, just came out of nowhere, booming in the universe. And she said, "My little boy Krishna loves you so much, because every morning we go to our garden and water the trees. And Krishna has a favourite tree that he waters every morning. But that tree doesn't fruit in our world, it fruits in your world. So Krishna can't eat the fruits of this tree unless the fruit gives themselves to him. And because of that, he only gets to eat the sweetest fruits. So that's why he's such a happy boy." And I wrote it down really quickly because it wasn't coming from me. And it was this connection with nature, connection with the fruits of our labour, that to make sure it's sweet, to make sure that we put the nutrients and water our garden, and to grow those spiritual abilities, capacities that we all have. So as you watch the seasons change and we go into winter, we're compelled to join together at Christmas and spend time with each other and build that spiritual bond with each other. Because when our loved ones pass over, they don't come back and teach us all about all the things we want to know, all those mysteries that we want to solve, the sacred geometry and numerology and cures for cancer. They just bang on about the relationship they had with you over and over again until you realise that's all that really matters. That's all you're here for, and that's where your spiritual growth will come from. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
See, don't need props. Just as well with the mushrooms. Thank you, Stephen. I'll talk to you after because I don't agree with something there. But there is, and this is a wonderful thing, isn't it, in spiritualism, that we can debate, we can talk about things. And Stephen's experience is there. I know this is in the mindset of some people listening today, be it here in church or online, thinking, well, that's all right, that's for you because you're a medium. Do you know what the concept is? We're all mediums. And it's only by giving yourself into progression, to development, to engaging with spiritualism, with critical thinking. I did love the line about it's not for somebody else to give you, because unfortunately we see that. Not only the people who want to give you something, only for a small fee, or the people that want to short circuit things and get what they want without the effort, and then not realising it's the effort that makes the result. Seriously. So stop banging on, Lawrence, and stop dragging away from your wonderful address, because I love that. Thank you. We're now going to have a short piece of music. During this time, Mariella will be taking the collection for the further work of this your church. She didn't know that until I just said it, so carry on. Thank you.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability. You're capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. Whoa, whoa, you have to believe in yourself. You don't have to hide anything. You can be your true self. Don't need to follow society. Never forget that you're blessed. Give thanks for everything. Even the hard times will turn out to be blessings. No matter how you feel, you can learn from your pain. It's there to make you great. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you.
Difficult to sing along to, but the message in it I love. I absolutely love. So, moving into the next part of this service, where we can actually start to demonstrate what we talk about. We say there is no death. We say there is eternal life. Where's the evidence? The evidence is provided every day, either in person, online, wherever, by people bringing that evidence to you. But once you've had your evidence, That's an invitation. Please, I do see it from time to time. People go, oh, that was a lovely message. I'll go along next week and see if I can get another one. The message is in the message. We don't die. 100 years from now, guess where we're all going to be? Sad, but true. We're going to be the message. It's that invitation from Spirit to open up your senses, to feed your hunger for knowledge, to give you that essence, that truth, that love that we do not die. And with me, that's not a belief, because a belief can be challenged. It's not a belief. I know it. So either that or I'm extremely psychotic and the words in my head are really coming from somewhere else in me. However, stop it, Lawrence. Lovely Stephen will now work. Please remember, we like this two-way conversation, do we not?
Yes.
Please remember not to feed the medium, especially after midnight or get him wet. So a simple yes, no, or I don't know. Some things we don't know. So it's a
Yes.
no.
Maybe.
So sorry there. Stephen.
Thank you. Yeah, I way I work is I mostly work with feeling these days. I see them in my mind. I sometimes hear them, but I feel them in my being, and it's been changing a lot because I've been changing. So the way I'm working seems to take me by surprise sometimes. And while I was sitting here, I was sort of looking around, and it's so many beautiful faces in here, and I've just got this feeling every single one of you were noticing something beautiful on the way in here this morning. While everyone else was just focused on what they were doing, everyone in here has probably taken the time to let that beauty just inspire them on the way here. I was on the train through the New Forest, and while people were arguing on the train, I was just staring out the window, and it's such a beautiful world, and people want evidence from the spirit world that proves survival, and then they say, oh, how does that prove God? It's like, it's there. It's there. Do you know what I mean? It's screaming at you from everywhere. And so I feel this gentleman coming in close to me, but it's a very spiritual energy. I feel like someone who's come here to give some advice to someone, but it's not through me. It's like an advice that there's this communication going on between you and them, that you're opening up and exploring this beautiful energy that you've discovered in yourself. And this gentleman's telling me that it's been really difficult the last few years for you, and you've taken this massive leap, and you've had a really difficult time trying to understand, because you've got some issues in the family. You don't know everything you need to know about them, so you're kind of wondering what I'm going to say to you. And he's saying he feels like a grandfather that you probably didn't know. Feels more on father's side of the family. He's quite a tall man, and he would have been extremely well read. I think you might know a little bit about him, but I feel he's trying to tell me that this is quite new to you. And I feel like I'm with the young gentleman with the blonde hair and the... Would you understand this so far? And while you were sitting there earlier, I was seeing this light dancing around you, but I've got some funny eyes, so I'll just double checking. But I feel there's been a lot of energy around you lately, and it's been quite overwhelming. But you've been really enjoying it because you know where it's coming from, and it's really driven you, and you've thanked Spirit for all the troubles that you've had because it's opened your eyes. And I believe with this gentleman, am I right? You didn't really know him very well. Not fully, but he was quite a tall gentleman.
Yes.
Very straight and very intelligent. Very quiet though. A very powerfully silent man, you know. And I feel he's a very protective guide with you, but it's not just that he's your friend. Okay, he likes you, you know. And there's this. It's not just a family bond. It's this, you know, friendship that's developing, like a brotherhood as well. And he's quite impressed with how much you've really understood things in the last few years, because a lot of people aren't really getting it, and you've got a bigger picture. he's telling me that there's this really this sense that you want to open it up more, but you're very conscious that you don't want to make a mistake or hurt anyone or go into it blindly. You want to know more. And probably weird advice, but he says you just got to go with it. You've got a good soul. You're not going to do no wrong. You've got good manners. You were brought up well, and the bits that you didn't get, you figured out. Okay? And you trust yourself. When you're on your own, you like being with yourself. And not everyone around you is in the same position, and you're having to just politely walk away. Okay. He's I don't know why he's showing me a whole load of images. He's showing me a push bike in the countryside. So I don't know if I just want to leave that with you. If it's, you just want to go spend some time on your own and get some exercise, it's like he's going to be with you. Would you understand this?
Not sure.
Okay. But because as I'm blending in with him, what I'm getting is there's this, you must be going into a bit of a sort of just daydream, and you're starting to see what look like shadows, but you know they're not, it's just your eyes, you know. They're just the images of as you're opening up and exploring this, and you're catching things out the corner of your eye more and more, and it's making you very happy, and it's such a nice feeling that I'm getting, this sort of wonderment at everything. And he's like, in your book of life, you've come to the chapter where it's all starting to make sense, where all the sort of little paths are all coming together to a single point, and it suddenly makes sense. And I'm very happy for you. He's saying it's like he couldn't give you a greater gift if he tried. So I'm going to leave that with you, right? Okay. There's a lot of love and emotion coming from him. Okay. I feel this lady stepping in. She's very sweet, very composed and very well spoken. She's giving me the sense that she passed a little while ago. I feel if she's not mother, she's grandmother on mother's side. And she feels to me a lady who very quietly got on with her life, but actually looking back, she became the centre of the family by default. She wasn't someone who was actively trying to be in charge of everyone. It naturally ended up that way. She's laughing about it a little bit because she's saying the person I'm coming to is just like her in nearly every single way. She's bringing me to the lady with the yellow top there. And while I was sitting there earlier, I was seeing, and I don't get this often, but the symbol over your head of a caduceus, you know, the kundalini sort of. And this lady's giving me this. Can you understand this lady as a?
Some of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say she was a particularly spiritual person because she was not like where you're going with life. Do you know what I mean? But she ended up being quite. Feels like it was not put on her, but she just found herself in a position where she had to be in charge of people and guiding them, and she was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. Would you understand that? Or is this with you?
I think that's probably maybe me, yeah.
Right. I'm feeling, because what she's saying is, it's a very different life you're living than the one she lived.
Yeah.
And there's a real connection with earth energies at the moment. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm talking about ley lines and energy grids and things like that. Is that where your mind has been going lately, or?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Because while I've got this lady with me, there's this really strong energy as well to my side, and I feel this is more like a guide that works with you. And this lady is sort of well, I don't know how to say it, like in harmony with him. Okay, and there's a strong healing energy. I don't know what you're doing healing wise, but it feels like there's something there that you're doing.
Okay, yeah.
And this gentleman he's a very strong energy, very soft but very strong, and he feels like he's got this resonance with him. And it's a little bit uncomfortable when you first commune with him, because it's this, oh wow, and you kind of know when that you're in that communion with him. But this lady's also got this other nature to her, so it's a bit like the yin and yang working with you. They balance each other out and harmonise quite nicely. And they're talking about a gentleman that's very supportive. It's like he's your rock.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? And they like the energy that you've got there, and it's like it's radiating out and attracting the right people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
She's saying though there's a lot of fun involved in it as well, and she would have been quite straight, you know, and had to always keep a dignified posture and everything. But there's a lot of belly laughing until it hurts going on.
Yeah.
And it's just abandon joy, you know, just everyone just really gelling as a little group, and they love that because it's an energy they really can work with.
Yeah.
I feel there might be an anniversary around this lady, either around her passing or her birthday or something, so I don't know if you can have a look. It's just she's coming in on this energy.
Yeah.
And I feel she doesn't speak very often because she was a bit, wouldn't call herself a spiritualist exactly, but she's enjoying the communication.
Okay. I know who that is now.
Okay, right. But I just feel this, it's like they're, you know, when Dorothy's walking off the yellow brick road with everyone on her side, it's like you're walking along and they're all just sort of right behind you, enjoying the whole thing as well.
That's nice.
Okay. Is the Wizard of Oz reference something important to you?
Yeah, it's
Right,
my
okay.
favourite movie. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, I've seen a very different version of that movie.
Mushrooms.
But she's giving me this sort of idea that it's got this really almost fantastic nature about what you're doing, you know, and it's you're building something. She's telling me. Okay, I'm going to leave her love with you and move on.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Because the one thing she's saying, you're not so. You were wondering about a communication, or you're supposed to work as a medium, as it were. And although you're developing this, I take it, you're also quite comfortable to just go with the flow, and you're learning to be quite picky about what you're giving out, because what's this? Saying you feel a responsibility just to go over it and over it again, and she's very pleased with that, because she's also saying you could get on with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Right, I'll leave that with you.
Thank you.
I've got a really nice, large, tall, broad, well-built gentleman with me, and as I blend with him, I've got these beautiful, big, hot, warm, healing hands, and he's got this nature about him. Animals, children, they just magnetise to him, and he's got this gentle, giant nature to him. And I don't know if he worked as a healer, but he knew he had a healing energy, even if he didn't express it anyway. But it was just this, and I can't quite tell. It feels more like a father, but he's showing me in his older years, in his sort of 60s and 70s, but he's still very well built. And he's just got this big smile and energy about him. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, because I do feel like a father, or you know, he's in the family. I'm terrible with names, but I feel the name Tom coming in with me as well. or Thomas, and he's given me an idea that he was always quite sort of smart. He'd have a white shirt on, but he wouldn't have a tie. But I mean, and he's always quite smartly dressed but casual with it. He's making me feel I passed, quite a few years, over 20 to 30 years ago now. So you would remember me back then as this, how I'm describing him. I don't really want to put it out there, but is anyone resonating with this? Oh, Tom, of course. Sorry. Right. And you understand he's a very tall, very big, strong, but gentle giant. And his hands, he just had something about him. And he would just place hands on people and they felt better instantly. And he's very encouraging. It feels like he's actually here a lot. And he likes the healing energy. And I feel like he's here before anyone else and he leaves after everyone else. And do you understand this gentleman? He used to play dumb a little bit, even though he wasn't. And I feel like he did that to avoid having to go off. He didn't mind being a medic or something like that, but he didn't want to participate in any conflicts. And he was quite a strong-minded gentleman, but he knew how to put it very simply and sometimes act a little bit dumb when he needed to. Right. And he stayed a really lovely person right up to the end. He was always outside, going to people, talking to them, going out of his way for people. And the moment everyone found out that he wasn't well, they all surrounded him. Everyone just dropped what they were doing, and they made sure that they said their goodbyes to him. And then once he was gone, there was he was remembered for a very long time. Everyone missed him greatly. Because he's saying it's going to be the same when you finally get some rest. But he's got some work for you the other side, apparently, I think. Okay. But yeah, long may you live, Tom. God bless you. I've got this lovely lady's just come in, and I feel like a grandmother on mum's side, and she's straight in there, strong communicator, and I could barely keep up with her. Very different energy, and she's making me feel this very strong draw to the land. I feel like we've got a little small holding, we've got chickens and things running around, we've got a little patch, and we grow a lot of our own food. And we grew up in a very sort of happy, natural life when I was younger. And I tried to, as things, people moved into the suburbs, the family didn't quite keep hold of those sort of rural roots, but she will be remembered for telling all these stories about when she grew up around the animals. Okay, she's making me feel that she's been past a good 10 years or so, and she's still missed. It still feels like she's there sometimes, but I feel like it was a blessing for her passing, because she was beginning to lose a lot of her faculties, and she was in quite a lot of pain. I'm being drawn to the lovely gentleman with the beard and the ponytail and the blue shirt. Can you understand this lady as a grandmother?
Not at all, so. But I was adopted, so that
Right.
confusing
Okay,
sometimes.
yeah.
Without knowing my
No.
family.
Right. But from the description of her, would you feel that, a connection somehow? As I was saying that, you kind of feel it. Do you understand what I mean?
That connections to every message you
Oh, right, yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a good way.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is where they're quite clever, and somehow they got to give me some information
Yeah, I mean,
that
the
you
funny thing, every
understand.
message you said today I've related to really strongly, and then this one I was thinking, oh, this one's definitely not for me.
Right.
So it probably is, isn't it?
That's right, keep me on my toes, isn't it? Yeah. Well, she's giving me this sort of sense of this connection to the land that seems to have been lost in the family a little bit. Would you understand that?
I'm very connected to the land and nature.
She's smiling. She's making me feel this sort of. It was although she was brought up like that, there was a real anti-establishment current in the family. Okay,
That runs strong.
a rebellious nature, yeah, and because she's like, oh no, he's one of us, right? He's definitely one of mine, and there's this this sort of rebelliousness throughout life. But it's not just been that you've been contradictory. It's that you just wanted to be independent. You don't want to change the system. You just don't want a system, you know.
Perfect.
And she was exactly the same. I feel that, you know, she grew up like that because her parents didn't want to be part of what they saw in the rest of the world, and they wanted to keep this really strong connection with the land and self-sufficiency.
And my heritage is Irish, Southern Irish, so you can certainly relate to that.
I wish I'd have got that one. That's all right. Okay. She's making me feel the sense of there must have been a time in your life where you were a bit reckless, not in a bad way, just I don't know if it's just being a guy. Do you know,
Yeah.
like fearlessness. I'm ready to go. I'm going to grab everything with both hands because you realised how free you were compared to a lot of people, and in the last few years you've really sort of settled down and at peace with yourself, and you don't feel that need now. Now you want to stay here for as long a time as you can rather than as good a time as you can. Would you understand that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And you've moved recently and settled. She's making me feel.
Not as in locations.
Oh, but in just in general in the way you are
Yeah,
and
definitely, yeah.
outlook.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got this gentleman coming in with her as well, and he's sort of laughing because he said they've given it to me twice now. I've got to repeat it, but you know, you're sort of waiting to play football and they're picking for the football teams, and they leave you out, so you just go and punch the ball and walk off. Would you understand that? That kind of.
Yeah, that kind. Yeah.
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 Well,
Definitely.
they-
But I can feel it here. So.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So it's like, you know, what's just a silly game. Do you know what I mean? But it's always had that kind of rebellious nature, you know, like, what a silly thing to do. I mean, you don't want to ruin anyone else's fun, but it's one of these sort of moments where you're like, I don't really want to play it anyway. It's my mind is elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? And it feels like there's, I don't know, for, like you said, you were adopted, but I feel that you've always had this very independent nature about you. But they're also telling me you were also quite well looked after. You know, you've got some people that were good role models for you in life. And it must have been quite difficult, but some people really made the effort with you, and you feel like your spiritual journey is about paying back everything that you've been given, because you're grateful for it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And I don't know if you have been or not, but I feel there's some lighting of a candle in a church for someone, and there's this moment of peace that's just washed over you as you've done that. Does that make sense to you? Oh, well, I'll just leave that with you then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. She's just got this beautiful smile on her face now, because I feel it's like, oh, you're finally able to enjoy your spirituality without, because I feel it's just been, on the spiritual journey for a lot of people it's quite difficult, because you think, oh, well, if this is true, then the Bible must be true, and then I've been a sinner all my life, and it's like, sometimes you just got to get over that and realise that that's just someone's version. The reality is we're beautiful souls, and we're here to have this lesson in life, and some of that is to make mistakes. It's not a sin, it's just a growth.
Yeah, I totally resonate with that. I mean, I've had a lot of retrospection in the last probably 6 months or so. I'm just grateful for all the stuff, everything all through my life. Just sort of like
Because
realising.
I feel there's this, you're going to find some way of channeling it in the best way that you know how, and it's going to really help, not just you, but everyone around you. So whatever it is you're doing, best of luck to you. God bless you. I've got a lovely father coming in now, quite I want to say slim gentleman, a little bit shorter than me, very neat. He's wearing a nice suit, and I think it's like a nice tweed jacket, very smart, but somehow very casual. And his hair, it's got a slight curl to it. It's quite dark, but going grey, and he feels quite dashing, and he's managed to hold on to his charm and his looks right up till the end, he's telling me. And he was very well-read, well-spoken, intelligent, and he had a dry sense of humour, but he shared it only with people that he was closest to. And I feel like I really want to come to a daughter, and I feel like I've connected with her so many times before, but I want to just come through again and say I love you very much. And I've been drawn to the lady just on the end there. Okay. Would you understand this as a father, or with the lady just behind you? He's given me a sense of he was like he worked mostly with books, and he's showing me he was very much a manager of people. I feel his profession was administration, but in like a institution, because I'm seeing like this beautiful sort of Gothic building, but it's something to do with a school. He's showing me all these books, but I feel like he's not a teacher, he's like an administrator for a university or something. Is this resonating with anybody? He's giving me the names of George and Margaret in his family, and if I can't place him, I'll move on. I just feel so drawn over this way, and because he's making me feel that there was this great reunion in the family in the last few months, and everyone sort of who hasn't seen each other for so long got together, and there was a little bit of worry if everyone was going to get on, but everyone just gelled together quite naturally, and everyone made these family connections that they hadn't done before, and it grew stronger. Can anyone understand that or take that? Okay. Because I feel what he's saying is it's just, it's really changed the family, and everyone has benefited greatly from this sort of reunion, and it's been a very positive event in the family. So if no one can take that, I'll let him go and move on. I've got this lady coming in, and she feels like a mother, but a mother is someone who ended up being like a sister. Even though there was always this respect for mother, as she grew older, you spent a lot of time with each other, and I feel that there was a point where you made the decision with her to put her into care, but to visit her all the time, and it feels like it was such a positive thing to do. She really enjoyed being in that home because she made all these friends. I'm not sure where I'm going. Does anyone recognise this lady from what I've said so far? Okay, I was being drawn down there. And she's making me feel this it was such a happy thing because it felt really, we picked a good place, but we didn't realise how much she was going to enjoy it. And you would go to see her and she goes, I'm far too busy. You can come along if you want, you know. And it was just put this big smile on your face because it was just like, I've seen my mum come alive again. And even wanted to go to the nursing home and say, thank you, whatever you're doing, whatever drugs you're putting in her tea, it's working, right? But she's just, this joy came over her and she seemed to be animated and 10 years younger automatically. And she's like, what a lovely gift that she wasn't expecting, you know, and because you thought it was going to be the other way around. Oh, and she's a brilliant communicator. You know, she's going, you're doing all right, lad, but come on. And I feel that, because I know that you're working with your mediumship, and she's saying, you'll never rabbit on like I did, but don't be worried, because I know you're shy. And she wasn't so shy. That's how she made so many friends so quickly. But she's also saying, oh, you're so well looked after and so, in such a lovely place, and you're surrounded by people that appreciate you. And she's making me aware that there's other younger people in the family who are so proud that they've got this spooky person in their family. That, do you know what I mean? And they always ask you about it, and you're like, oh, don't worry about it, because they're too young to really work with it. You know, you're like, just grow up and have your own life before you worry about that stuff. Because she's saying if it was the other way around, she'd be wearing these robes and a tiara, and you know, she goes, I'm not just going to heal. And she must have liked playing cards, because she's showing me that, but it feels like she's saying there's more to those cards. You know, we used to use those cards just like the tarot, but we didn't tell anyone, you know. But she's saying they were just silly when they did that. It wasn't serious, and if she'd known then what she knows now, she would have taken it a bit more seriously. And you don't drink, do you?
No.
Because she's holding up a glass of champagne, but I know that's got 0.0 on the bottle.
It's their favourite drink.
Right. Of course, darling. She would have worn fur as well. Okay. She goes, well, it died for a reason. I might as well wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very playful, and I feel like that the life is very playful at the moment. And she's saying you are normally the serious one in the room, but you're enjoying that, okay? Because that means that you're surrounded by happy people. Okay, so I'll leave her love with you. God bless you.
Lovely.
Is that it? Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Few notices for the week. We have Qigong available on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 and Wednesday mornings at 9:30 here in the church. If you go on to Harry Shellswell's website to book that, please. Details are on the notice board out in the hall there. This coming weekend we have Bill Rich with us. So on Friday between 2 and 4 o'clock we have some private sittings with Bill, and then Friday evening at 7 o'clock there is an evening of mediumship again with Bill. Saturday from 10 till 4 there is a workshop narrating the story. Guess who that was with? Go on, have a go. Oh, well done. Yeah, there we go. Somebody's paying attention. With Bill Rich. And then on Sunday, we have our remembrance service. Could you please note next Sunday's service will start at 10 to 11, so we can incorporate the 1 minute silence. All right. What else is going on? On Wednesday night, we see the last week of our 6-week mediumship course. However, because they're all so lovely and they're all really working well with it, we're going to do the same again, another 6-week course tagged on. But if there's anybody that would like to join in with it, please come and see me. But the current group, not bad, are they, Morella? No, not bad at all. There you go, from the horse's mouth. So thank you. So next week, this Wednesday is the last week of the current course. But if you'd like to be included on the next 6-week part of it, please let me know. New newsletters out. The website's updated. We're beginning to look at the Christmas word. I know. We will be open again this Christmas Day for luncheon for people who are on their own or facing their own challenges, whatever, at this time of year. None of our business, just please come down and enjoy it. It will be a dry event because some people are challenging with other issues, so no alcohol until 4 o'clock when I lock the door, and then it's going to be loads. It's going to be like this brewery orgy. Fabulous.
We'll all turn up at 4 then, shall we?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Bring some food, because by then I don't want to cook anything. But that will be, we'll have a list out, and everything that we need to purchase to support that will be on the list, individually priced, so you can buy anything from a bag of sprouts to the hire of the hot plates that we need in. That list will be out next week. Big thank you to people today who have given money. Thank you so much. Also online, isn't that wonderful? People in Europe are supporting us here for Christmas. I was really touched by that, so thank you. You know who you are. There are other things going on. We've got a Christmas market day with Mark Stone and other vendors. New Year's Eve, we have 2 gong bars between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So anybody who's like me, you know, the faffing about of New Year's Eve getting anywhere and you don't want to do it, if you want to see the New Year's Eve in with a gong bath and then go home and maybe a little something by the fire. Anyway, all on the newsletter, all on the website. Sir Stephen, if I could ask you for the closing blessing.
Divine and gracious Spirit, we thank you for bringing us all together in this energy of love. And we ask that you see us all home safely, taking that energy with us, so that we may work with it in our individual lives and in our groups that we share outside the church, and that we can spread that light, that love and that knowledge by being the example to others, by walking the path of Spirit and not just talking it, by giving the healing and not just asking for it. We will always grow more when we are selfless than selfish, and with the Spirit is something that should be shared. It should be given freely, and we share that love and that healing with the whole world. Amen.
Amen. Stephen, thank you. Not thank you for covering, thank you for delivering a beautiful service. Wonderful. Thank you everybody for being with us today. Thank you too to those joining online, whether you're live today or at a later date. In the meantime, like we say, the sun's out, it's beautiful, go enjoy. Brilliant. Coffee. Back. Sandwich?
Oh yeah, please.
Yep.